Hi, I'm Vicky. I love books and enjoy reading. The first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is to read. If I go for a run, I listen to an audiobook. In my leisure moments, I read whilst enjoying some good music. Are you an avid reader, or you're not learning how to read? Maybe you used to enjoy reading, but somehow it has become a thing of the past. Come on this journey with my guests and I as we dive into various books and themes these books talk about. Every week, I speak to various authors who are behind life-transforming books, as well as promote various stakeholders within the publishing industry. The Kiddie Zone segment on the show is meant specifically to ignite reading interest in your child. Watch the Writer's Blog on this station this and every Saturday at 4:30 p.m. and on Sunny 88.7 FM every Saturday at 1 p.m. This program is powered by Reveal Multimedia and supported by The Writer's Blog. Read, write, indulge your mind.
Hello and welcome to the Writer's Blog talk show, a program designed to celebrate authors and their works. We are also seeking to promote other stakeholders within the publishing industry. This one is powered by Reveal Multimedia Limited and supported by Caris Books, Anyedu, Ako Books Audio, Challenge Enterprises of Ghana, Cody's Beauty and Fashion GH, Side Farm, FC Beauty. Now this makeup, well, I did it myself, but it's all the products is by Kanket CFC, and of course La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. We're coming to you live from here. They say uniquely golden, traditionally Ghanaian. Media partners Sunny FM and Sunny TV. The Writer's Blog, we say read, write, indulge your mind. I am so blessed to have an amazing woman who is writing a very beautiful story. Her story in a very different way. And it is titled Rama's Lemonade. Beautiful write-up. She is Rabiatu Ayoka Brimah. When we are back from this break, we'll dive straight into this book, get talking to her. Stay with us.
There are many who have gone to their graves with untold stories. Stories meant to change and transform lives. Don't let that happen to you. If a story isn't you, it has to come out. It must be told. Do you have an idea or a life-transforming story to share? Do you want to write a book but don't know how? Let the expert writers at Reveal Multimedia help you out. Are you a preacher with a desire to convert your sermons into books and other readable materials? Reveal Multimedia offers efficient and on-time audio-to-text transcription services at a very affordable price. We also transcribe interviews, documentaries, etc. We offer other editorial services such as editing and proofreading. That's not all. At Review, the author and his or her book are our priority. We are the brain behind the Writer's Blog, a book review program which airs on Sunny FM and Sunny TV, meant to celebrate authors and their works, as well as promote other stakeholders in the publishing industry. We offer PR services for authors with top-notch publicists who create thrilling stories, book reviews and commentaries, organize book launches and related events to provide mileage on all meaningful media platforms for the author and their works. Call on us today to help bring every creative idea to life. For more information, call, text or send a WhatsApp message to 0552 535 036 or 0208 428 322. Send us an email, revealmultimediagh@gmail.com. Facebook, Instagram and YouTube at Reveal Multimedia GH. Our website is www.revealmultimediagh.com. Reveal Multimedia. Dreams come alive.
Welcome back. Still the Writer's Blog Talk Show. We're coming to you live from La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. If you're looking for that one spot to have a good time with family and friends, serene environment, good food, good music, get in touch with them. Number on your screen, make that phone call, and make sure you're making your way right here. Our quote for today, I'm taking it from this awesome book, Rama's Lemonade, and written by Rabiatu. It's on page 122. It says, some days she's a warrior. Some days she's a broken mess. Most days she's a bit of both. But every day she's there, standing, fighting, trying. And this is by Thinkology. Amazing it is because it describes what this book is all about. Her life, her struggles, and her successes. Let me just tell you something little about our author for today. She is a customer experience consultant, soft skills trainer, adoption advocate, diabetes coach, and author. Rabiatu Ayoka Brimah was born in Accra, right here in Ghana, in 1972 and grew up in the same city. She holds a degree in BSc Administration Finance option from the University of Ghana Business School and an MBA Finance from the University of Leicester, UK. She also has been certified as an accredited customer experience master. Wonderful indeed. That's why she's been checking at, every now and then. Rabi is also the founder and lead consultant of Inspiring Lives Consult Ghana, a compassionate, result-oriented business leader with over 20 years of rich experience in retail banking, customer experience, and people management. She has a proven track record of managing small, medium, and large teams and transforming difficult teams into highly engaged and productive ones. She is relentlessly passionate about customer experience and people development and has a desire to see organizations transform and thrive through the delivery of exceptional customer experience. She is the founder of Total Praise and Worship, an interdenominational youth choir that has been ministering since April 2007. Wow. Well, in the book, she talks about how she loves music, so this is it. She is a proud adoptive mother of an adorable son, who we'll learn all about in the book. And she loves to share her story to encourage others. She got married for the very first time at age 49 and currently lives in Accra. Her story will blow your mind. Welcome on the show, Rabi.
Thank you very much, Vicky. I am blessed to be here.
It is so good. You know, after going through this book, I've cried, I have prayed, and that's how the effect of a good book on you. And I thank God for your life, really. This is super awesome. But for some people, I'm sure they'll remember the Reverend Rap show on Sunny FM.
Yes.
I think I was very young then. Either in Legon. I think I was in Legon first year thereabouts. I'm thinking, okay, my producer says, oh, Vicky. Yeah, but that's true.
And it's interesting. I meet people. I remember when I joined my last place of work, there was a young lady there who was like 24, and she said, I grew up listening to the Reverend Rap show. It made me feel so old. Like, then I counted back, and I said, yes, we did that for 10 years. So if she grew up, it's possible, you know.
Yeah.
But yes.
But beautiful indeed. I'm so grateful to God for your life. Looking at the book, the cover, what inspired this one? Rama's Lemonade. Just look at that. Beautiful.
So it's really from the title of the book, right? It's about lemonade. What is lemonade made out of? It's made out of lemons. What's the color of lemons? And then when you talk about the leaves, what would be the color?
Okay.
And I love green. Green is my top favorite color as well. So everything just seemed to fall in line. And when I gave it to the graphic designer, I did not even say to him, use green, but it just all came so naturally. And I did say that I want to have a sassy, young, and beautiful lady holding a glass of lemonade. And this is what he produced. Beautiful. I said, I'll take this.
Beautiful, beautiful indeed. It's about 167 pages, 12 chapters in there. But the style, though, is what I'm intrigued about. Semi-autobiography.
Epistolary.
Epistolary,
Yes.
What's that? And what
Okay, so
inspired that?
the semi-autobiography is a story that talks about the author's life in part. It would have some fictional elements or not,
Okay.
but it's dealing with the author's life. And then when you take epistolary, it's a form of writing in letters, letters, diary inputs. So when I was in secondary school, there was a literature book that we used called So Long a Letter.
Okay.
And that was a semi-biographical epistolary.
Epistolary, okay.
I like the style so much. It's so far still the best literature book I have read.
Okay.
You know, and I thought, how do I share my story without bringing myself into it too much? Even though those who know me will just know that this is Rabiatu.
Yeah.
But then for the outside world that do not know me, how do I share my story without being in there, but still letting them know that this is real? This is a real life story. So looking at those two styles, I thought this is exactly what it is. So if you are a literature person, then when you hear semi-autobiography, you know there's the element of truth in there, real in there.
That's
exactly.
Right.
And I thought writing to my unborn granddaughter would be a perfect way of leaving that legacy. Because when growing up, I had some kind of a blueprint, a guide to lead me, I am sure there'll be so many potholes I would have avoided. I tell you, I mean, what I know now, if I had known it when I was younger, even in the form of somebody else's story, Vicky, I would have saved time. But it's life. Life teaches you lessons.
That's right. And all of this is for a purpose. Yeah. I have been so inspired by this. Once we are done, we'll let you know where you can get copies and how much it's going for. But really, let's start off with your life, your family, and your only sister.
Okay. So we started with a family of 4, mom, dad, myself, and my sister.
Okay.
So that's not her name in the book, but yeah, my sister. And then at a point, when my sister turned 16, we lost her. At the age of 14, we discovered that she had type 1 diabetes. And for a child that young, that was hard. Because type 1 diabetes is when you have to inject insulin. And my sister was light-skinned. And she had to inject the insulin on her arms or her thighs. And at a point, if you looked at her thighs or her arms, because she was light-skinned, oh my goodness, you would see the scarring, you would see the red. And she always intrigued me how a 14, 15-year-old girl would boldly inject herself 2 times a day with insulin. And she did that for 2 years, 14 to 16. And then at age 16, she passed. And we didn't know anything about type 1 diabetes. We didn't understand how it operated. We just, followed what doctors said we should do. Inject. In terms of diet, yes, don't eat sugar. But that was it. Everything else was okay to go, And at the end of the day, if you ask me now, I do not even know what killed her. I was 20 then.
Yeah.
I do not understand. I am not too sure. I have asked my dad. He doesn't seem to have anything reasonable to say to me. My mom is gone. So, but I just know that type 1 diabetes is hard. It's deadly.
So is that what has informed your interest in, this diabetes program?
Not even that. Not even that.
Okay.
So later on in my own life, this is about 9 years ago, I was diagnosed of type 2 diabetes. Some way, somehow, it's even a blessing. Blessing in the sense that when you compare to type 1, this is better.
Okay.
Now, diagnosis of type 2, I remember on that day I was shattered. But hey, it's what it is. So you just go through your medication and you know quite a bit about type 2 diabetes, but at the time you're even thinking that, oh, it's milder. And then later on you get to find out a bit more about it and you realize that, oh my goodness, a lot of all the diseases, kidney, heart, all those things are associated with this disease, and you're taking medication and your numbers are still not improving. You get to this point of frustration, of throwing your arms up in the air and saying, or whatever, you go through all that. And then one day you find out that there is a way out of this. So once I discovered the way out of it and I saw that it was working for me, I decided that other people need to know. That's what got me into diabetes coaching.
Okay.
Other people need to know about it. And the thing is that what people do not pay for, they don't value. Because I started it a bit and I realized that there's so much information I put out there, but either they won't read, they don't bother, and then they come back with the same things over and over again. So a coach said to me, you know what?
Put a value on it.
Exactly. Put a value on this and let people see that value and decide whether they want to go for it. And they will take it serious. Because what at the end of the day I want to see is, I want to see results in people's lives. It has worked for me by God's grace. And by God's grace and the wisdom that he gives, I am off medication. Wow. You understand? And I'm off medication not through some magic, but only because I apply the principles. Low carbohydrate diet, intermittent fasting. Wow. And that is basically it. But it's hard. Yes, it's hard. But do you want to live? Is the food you're eating worth the amputation? Is it worth the dialysis? It's entirely up to you. For me, that's the bit I can do. There are certain things you cannot control.
That's right.
Trust God for that.
That's right.
But if this can be controlled, and with diabetes, because you have your glucometer, you check your blood sugar.
Okay.
You check your blood. If somebody tells you that this thing works for diabetes, use it. Check your blood sugar. You will know instantly. It's not going to be in 2 weeks. Because you will know if it's affected your blood sugar or not.
Oh, no.
So that's the thing. Eat carbohydrates 2 hours after that. Check your blood sugar. Is it within the normal range? Normal range 2 hours after eating should not be more than 7.8 millimoles.
Oh.
Yes. So if it is above, you know that you have a problem.
Okay. Now she's in her element now. This is something she's passionate about, and so
extremely passionate about it. So you have your glucometer and it works for you. So it's not about anybody fibbing you, anybody saying to you that something works and you are not sure. You know it and you see the results instantly.
A lot of things has shaped, Rabi's life. So many things, including her being single to a certain point. And as I read in her bio, 49.
Yeah.
She had so many frogs in her life. We will be talking about that when we come back from this break. Stay with us. It's the Writer's Blog Talk Show right here on this channel.
Asante from Anyedu. Anyedu is a children's company, a multimedia children's company that wants to help parents to raise successful and blessed kids. We believe that all children have potential and it has to be unleashed. So we are helping parents to unleash this potential, and especially for us as Africans, we believe that this is our time. This is when we can make an impact in this world. We want to raise a new generation of strong, confident, bold African children who would change the world, change the narrative of an African in the world. We are starting from Ghana. We are hoping that we will be able to reach the whole of Africa and let the children know that, look, they can do anything that they want to do because through Christ, all things are possible.
Thank you so much to DJ Uche Newman and of course Gabi for holding us down. When we are off for break, you should see how things are over here. Greetings to you, Uche Newman. But I'm wearing today Vika fashion. Veronica and her team, thank you so much for this amazing dress. But I didn't know that Rabi loves green, so I think that I'm in her element.
And it's lemon green.
Today.
I love it.
It's amazing. But thank you so much for joining us. We are discussing from this beautiful book, Rama's Lemonade. Now, Rabi, you shared about the challenges and the struggles. But here in this book, of course, we're referring to Grandma Rama.
Yeah.
And the stories about being single, the challenges. And, you know, I know for certain that this granddaughter of Grandma Rama is blessed to have these nuggets. And I know that for sure she will be blessed. But in Rama's life, Grandma Rama's life, being single, the challenges. At a point in the book, it was written that you even desired to write about the woes of being single.
Yeah.
But the challenges, the stresses, and how you pull through. Share with us.
Vicky, it's not an easy thing being a single person. I think especially in this part of our world. It isn't. I remember after my interview with JJD Ed, I got so many calls, some who are suicidal, and they identified, they related to the story that I shared in this book. It's not an easy thing being a single person. You've got to be strong. You've got to brace yourself. You've got to have a certain mindset if you want to survive. Because just the opinions of people is enough
to break you down.
To break you down and make you not want to rise up and face the world anymore. So it would probably start, for me, I think it hits me that I was growing when I was 30. When I was 30, that was when it hit me. Before then, Charlie, freestyle chick just doing her stuff. And I mean, I knew I'm married, but hey, we've got stuff to do. And then I realized that I'm 30. Hey, then 31, 32, and then that is when it started, because then you have people saying things, what are you waiting for? You're not growing any younger, you know. And if your parents didn't have you, would you be here? If they decide they wouldn't, you know, stuff like that. And then you also start feeling very conscious of yourself when you go places. When you're in an organization working and you have training programs, you're praying that this facilitator will not use examples of children and family, because it's always the case. And most of the time, you're the only one there who's single. Everybody else is married. So you attend singles programs in church. You're very active. And at the point you realize actually you have outgrown the singles department. So even though you're not married, Charlie, find a way. Sit back. So you don't want to go anymore. Mother's Day in churches when you are probably 35 and above, because I guess that's when I started feeling it. Sometimes it's the way they'll call people to stand. I know in some churches they'll say all women. It makes it better.
Yeah.
But when they say all mothers, you know, when they make it so specific and you are there, you want the floor to swallow you. So at a point, me, Mother's Day, you won't see me in church.
Wow.
No, I won't go. I won't go Mother's Day, and I will in support of single fathers and childless fathers. I will not go Father's Day. Just stay back. But you see, and it's all part of protecting your own sanity. There has to be a way you survive. There has to be a way you carry on. And you keep finding that way. And like the quote you shared, sometimes you're a warrior, sometimes, you know, you're just totally broken down. But you keep moving. And I remember what, in my days at ICGC as a youth, I remember there was one pastor, Pastor Diallo. There was a time he was preaching and he said something to this effect, maybe not exactly the words.
Okay.
But he said, if you cannot fly, run. If you cannot run, walk. If you cannot walk, crawl. But by all means, don't just stand there, do something. And that thing has never left me. As long as you are alive and you're here, you've got to keep moving. Keep doing something. There's a certain situation you find yourself in. What can you do with that situation to keep going? If you're not going to check out, if you're not going to kill yourself. And of course, I did mention that I got to that point where I thought,
yeah,
what am I doing here?
Yeah.
Honestly, after my mom died, and it was my dad, and at the time, my mom died when I was 39. So when I was turning 40, between 40 and 42, I had those suicidal thoughts. Because I felt like I was working hard. I was making decent income. I mean, and there was a lot of things that I did. I did things on the Reverend Rap show. It was totally free. I wasn't getting paid. When I had This Too Shall Pass, I was paying for the program, Total Praise. I was helping to sponsor. You know, I did stuff. I was doing things for the Lord. And I wasn't doing it for a reward, because God rewards me with more than money can buy. I know that, you know. But what I'm saying is that I was working and I was using my money meaningfully as well.
Okay.
But
there was a void.
There was a void. And it wasn't just what people would say. It was also because I needed some meaning. And that meaning eventually became the need for a child. Not just marriage. So the marriage thing, I wanted marriage, and I got to the point where I agreed with my friend who said, all the good guys are either married or dead. So I said, yes, that's it. Let's move on to something else, to having a child. I will tell you, I considered a lot of options.
Yeah.
Child of God, spirit-filled, I did. And don't judge anybody who is in that situation. And I don't. If anybody tells me, and I've had people say, I'll just say pray about it and do what you think will make you happy. I can support you with my prayer. But nobody has walked in your shoes. And nobody knows how they would have behaved. No pastor, no counselor, nobody knows. So I considered the options. And when the other options did not work for me, and you find the reasons in the book, when the options did not work for me, I thought, since I already have adoption on my bucket list, I was only waiting to get married, have my own 2 children, then I'll adopt 2 lovely children in addition. Then there'll be 4 children. Because in the book I also write that Rama became the only child after she lost her sister.
That's right.
And she didn't want that to happen
again.
Her, you know, to her children. So she thought, never will I have 2.
4.
I will have 4. I will actually have 4. And then later it became, okay, have 2 and adopt 2.
Okay.
And then,
actually,
as life would have it.
Page 2021, this particular letter speaks of a particular auntie who suggested this to you. It
suggested it to Rama,
yes,
right?
To Rama, yes. We had a week-long revival in church that ended last night. I've been thinking about you and praying for you, Rama. I listened attentively, not knowing where this was going. Where was this love and concern suddenly coming from? This was one of Mama Sika's several half-sisters who was known for not caring much about other people. Even her own children had issues with her. If you can continue for us.
So why don't you consider adoption? The question hit me like a ton of bricks. This was totally unexpected. Not once in my life had I discussed relationships, marriage, or children with this aunt. I could not hide my shock. Auntie, I don't understand. Are you thinking I will not have children of my own? Even so, what about marriage? You don't think I'll get married? I'm only 37, auntie. I was getting furious inside, but I restrained myself, which is a skill I had barely mastered as I waited for her response. And then she goes like, it's not that so. I'm just worried about the menopause. At what age did you get your first period?
And this one was something else.
So this triggered an uncanny feeling in me. And all of a sudden, some thoughts started flashing back in my mind. Witchcraft thoughts. Things that we had heard. But yes. Yes, because then you're thinking, you know that, so at that age, you know that, yes, adoption is on your bucket list. Not because you're not going to have children. Only because you love that whole concept, the whole idea. And then someone who isn't really on such terms with you, let me put it that way, calls you
out
in
of
the
the
night,
blue.
yes, then says that I have something, you know, and you're thinking, what could it be? You go there, and the person is asking you, why don't you adopt? And is asking you about your menopause, and when you no, it doesn't even ask about menopause. It's asking you, when did you have your first period? It's so weird. You're thinking, is this what I have been reduced to? Is this what it has come to? God, why am I becoming this center for ridicule? Why is this happening? I mean, because again, family knows that you are a Christian. You trust God, you know. So why are you having this? It's hard. And I know that many single people go through this. I mean, people are single at 32 and they're crying. And I'm like, hey, yeah, 32 and it's a big deal. But I guess maybe they should start seeing it as a big deal now before they get to 49. But imagine when you have advanced, you've gone past 40. And people are so unkind in the words they use. The comments. And sometimes they're very, very, it's a lot of cynicism, okay? The kind of things that they'll say. You know, stuff like that. Casting insinuations.
How did you pull through, or in this case, as the letters unfold, how did
I pull through?
Yeah.
You see, as I said, it was just, there were days when you're totally down, but there's a certain spirit of resilience that I sincerely believe that God gives. Because I don't know how I got that.
The strength.
But, you know, there were times when, yes, I was low, I wanted to end it. And then after that, you know, this whole thing of if you cannot fly, run, just keep moving. You just rise up and then you move again. And then there's always something that God drops through friends, through someone who speaks to you. There's a word that comes. And then you know that God is on your case. He's not down with you.
It's so important too, because you surrounded yourself with a lot of great people who give you. I mean, the negatives were there, but the positives were also there. Prayer partners who will stand with you, and a whole lot. And that goes to say that good company is good.
Yes. Talking about prayer partners, it just made me remember one of my fantastic person. She's late, the late Mariana Kwanda. She was an amazing person. I mean, when I was tired and I wanted to sleep, she would wake me up to pray. I mean, she was amazing. May her soul rest in perfect peace. But yeah, there were people like that that God used to keep you going. Keep you going. And also, I think because of the things, the activities that I immersed myself in. So, for example, the radio programs, they were a source of constant encouragement and inspiration for me. Because imagine, This Too Shall Pass is a program where I go encouraging people.
And here you are, you find yourself in the same situation.
So when I'm researching for my program, when I'm preparing for my program, I'm getting all these songs and these scriptures. And I am getting so blessed and encouraged. And people didn't understand why you are paying money for this program. But you see, it was so worth it, not just for myself, but for the lives that were also being lifted up, being encouraged. I mean, people literally told me that you saved my life. You saved my life, you know. So basically, that is it. The life of a single person is hard. And I think that we should all be kinder to single people.
Yeah, you had it for yourself, especially in our time and in our space. You've got to be human and be a lot more kinder to any single person that's around you. When we are back, we'll talk about these other frogs, I mentioned it earlier, and also the opportunity to meet the right person. And yes, the adoption did pull through. An amazing son was found. It's the Writer's Blog Talk Show right here on this channel. Let's go for TWB Nuggets with Barbara Okran. We'll be right back.
This is TWB Nugget. Hello and welcome to TWB Nugget. We began a new series titled How to Improve Your Child's Reading and Writing Skills. We shared our first tip last week and said that children learn by what they see. And so, it is imperative parents and guardians learn to be good examples. Your love for reading will automatically ignite reading interest in your child. Our tip for today is let your children choose. Give your children, and especially adolescents, the chance to choose the books they want to read. If they aren't engaged, reading will become a chore rather than a cherished practice. Endeavor to show interest in the book they choose as well, and read with them if possible. This will give you and your child different topics to share and discuss at any point in time. This will also create great bond between you and your child, and it will also help build their confidence. And that is our tip for today. Tune in next week for another key tip on how to improve your child's reading and writing skills. I'm Barb Okran, and like I always say, bye for now.
There are many who have gone to their graves with untold stories. Stories meant to change and transform lives. Don't let that happen to you. If a story isn't you, it has to come out. It must be told. Do you have an idea or a life-transforming story to share? Do you want to write a book but don't know how? Let the expert writers at Reveal Multimedia help you out. Are you a preacher with a desire to convert your sermons into books and other readable materials? Reveal Multimedia offers efficient and on-time audio-to-text transcription services at a very affordable price. We also transcribe interviews, documentaries, etc. We offer other editorial services such as editing and proofreading. That's not all. At Review, the author and his or her book are our priority. We are the brain behind the Writer's Blog, a book review program which airs on Sunny FM and Sunny TV, meant to celebrate authors and their works, as well as promote other stakeholders in the publishing industry. We offer PR services for authors with top-notch publicists who create thrilling stories, book reviews and commentaries, organize book launches and related events to provide mileage on all meaningful media platforms for the author and their works. Call on us today to help bring every creative idea to life. For more information, call, text or send a WhatsApp message to 0552 535 036 or 0208 428 322. Send us an email, revealmultimediagh@gmail.com. Facebook, Instagram and YouTube at Reveal Multimedia GH. Our website is www.revealmultimediagh.com. Reveal Multimedia, dreams come alive.
Thank you so much for staying with us, and thank you for that nuggets, Baba Okran. We are here with Rabi, and we're speaking and sharing from her book, Rama's Lemonade. Okay, let me just take that again. Lemonade it is. That's what I meant. Okay, I'm just excited. When a book is good, Vicky is all over the place. You need to get a copy for yourself, and of course for your young people as well. Because, you know, Rabi, as the letters unfolded, there was a cousin who said something to Grandma Rama, and it had to do with frogs. Do you remember that particular quote?
Yes, she said that before you meet your Prince Charming, you will come across a lot of frogs. I remember that so well.
And there were quite a number of these frogs.
In the book, there are just 3 frogs. Oh, in the life, oh my goodness.
There were more.
Of course. This book, there's just 3. This book is just a 10th of Rama's life. Wow. Yeah.
There was a dupe. There was a mystery man who, as it were, like a con artist. And then the professor.
The deceitful professor.
Yeah.
Then there was the con artist. And then there was the armed robber.
And that bit got me. Because here this person was frank with Grandma Rama, open-minded, ready to share everything. The next minute, his love for bikes and everything, not knowing that was what he was doing.
Yeah.
And Grandma Rama finds out that he's dead.
Yes. So, yes, meet this. Let's put me in the shoes of Grandma Rama right now.
Okay.
So I meet this person in the line of duty. I'm working, branch manager. Then this person comes in, a customer, and the person was indeed a customer. And the person's dad also happened to be one of the top customers. So it made it easier.
Okay.
And I was actually new in that branch. I was a relieving manager. So the substantive manager had gone on leave, a long leave. So I had gone in there. Okay. It was a community, it was kind of a close-knit community, so they kind of knew each other or knew a lot of people within that community.
Okay.
So one of the people, the assistant manager, just introduced this person to me, says that, oh, this is one of our customers, he'd like to meet you. And then we start talking. He was a fine young man. I mean, I was single as well. And of course, with the kind of work I was doing, you'd meet so many people. And I think that some way, somehow, it had helped me, helped me to discern. By the grace of God, had gotten some wisdom to know that not everything that flashes is gold, you know. So, yes, you would get attracted, you probably could get moved a bit, but you need to be very, very careful. So this was a fine gentleman, and I loved the fact that he was so open. He communicated very well. He would tell me, you know, stuff that he did, stuff he's done in the past. I used to be a bad guy, I really want to change. And again, remember, Christian, you're always looking for an opportunity to win a soul. And you know, those times they'll say convert and take. Sometimes they'll say it's not a good thing to do it, but I feel like they don't know what they are saying. You can convert and take as well. You know, so with all that in mind, this guy would come, you know, say all these nice things. And he would visit me every single day in the branch. Come in, speak for a while, or you'd call every day in the morning when I'm on my way driving to work, when I close. And then the thing is, he wanted to know where I lived. He wanted to visit me. I enjoyed his company, he enjoyed mine. So it was within a space of 2 weeks. We got to know each other, and I knew him for 2 weeks. And within 2 weeks, he wanted to know my place. That is a bit too soon for me, you know. I didn't quite know him that well. I wasn't very, very sure. So I thought, let's wait. You don't worry, I'll show you my place sometime. And then a Friday night, he calls me and he's sounding very sleepy. How are you? Oh, can I come over the weekend? I said, no, don't worry. We'll talk about this again. Come another time. He's like, I'm very tired, so I'm going to sleep. Okay, Friday night. I didn't hear from him over the weekend. Normally, like the previous weekend, I heard from him Saturday, Sunday, but this time nothing. Then I get to work on Monday, and then my staff come to me and say, manager, the guy is dead. And I'm like, dead?
How?
What happened? Then it hits me. I haven't heard from him. Strange. Then they come. He was involved in an armed robbery operation on Friday night at a specific place. They mentioned the place. It's even on the news. He was shot. He was the armed robber. Apparently, he's actually been masterminding most of the armed robberies around the banks where, you know, you go take your money, and then some people follow you on a motorbike, blah, blah, blah. He was part of it. I could not believe it. This guy was sitting in my office every day. You know, the manager's office is close to the powerhouse, you know.
So anything can happen.
And then what scared me most was when another customer came in later to come and say, do you know that guy was always carrying a gun on him?
How God saved you?
And I said, Lord, you always save. That was one of the frogs. The other frogs, people buy the book and read about the frogs.
Buy it. There was one particular, no, let's not share it. But how much is this going for?
This book is only 80 CDs. You know, you look at the quality, look at the paper that was used. No, you don't
need to explain it. I thought it was more than that.
No, it is 80. I mean, I've had people say that, oh, I wish it would be less. I wish, because I want everybody to have it. So I wish I could make it less. But unfortunately, because of the cost of it, you know.
Yeah, and where can we get copies?
We can get copies on Amazon. Amazon UK, US if you're out of the country. Booknook.store if you're in Ghana. They deliver nationwide. Vidya stores, Laboni and Osu, they have it. And then you can call 059-418-5725. You call that number and they will deliver same day to you.
You can also get copies from our office on the Spintex Road. We will grab a few copies just for you.
Yeah.
And anytime you call us, 0552-535-036 on your screen now, you will get it because it is really life transforming. Now, Rabbi, you also shared, I think, chapter 7 about how you lost your mom, you know, and the issues around it and the lessons that we can, you know, pick up if somebody is bereaved. And I think that bit is so amazing. Page 105, I think, just rounding up in a bit. Okay, page 105.
Yeah.
Is that it?
The things that you should do when someone you know is grieving.
Yeah.
Because you see, I learned that before I lost my mom, I'd have people, when I was working, people have lost their mom. You don't do much. You probably just say condolences. Sometimes you don't even attend the funeral. You don't do a donation because you are ignorant. When you have gone through something, there's so much learning.
Yeah.
And that's why I think we should be easy on judging people. Sometimes people do not know. Because before then, I didn't know that there were certain things that needed to be done. So once I learned it, I thought it's important to share.
Can you share just a few?
So I said, send them a text, email, or better still, just call them. Say something like, this must be so difficult for you. I can't imagine what you're going through. I'm sending you my love. No need to respond. And the no need to respond is so important. Because you see, at the time when the person is grieving, this is when you want to take things personal. I sent her a message, she hasn't even minded me. Do you know what they're going through? They might not be able to mind you at that time. And then later when they can, they've forgotten because they had a whole lot of messages. So do not even expect a response during that time. Send them the message out of love. Go to their home if possible, depending on who they are or how close they are to you. Offer to run an errand for them. Do something for them. They won't ask you, but offer to do something for them. It goes a long way to lessen the grief. Support them financially, according to your capability. Before or during the funeral. This goes a long way to ease the financial stress and pain that comes with planning a funeral, you know. So, and there are so many other ways that you can find to be there for a grieving friend.
But what Grandma Rama shares about, I mean, the death itself, no need to bring up memories, you know, and the response from the nurses and the stories and that emotional period. I cried when I got to that portion and I was saying to myself, Father, give us what it takes to be able to hold on and stuff, because there's nothing like losing a family member, nothing, especially a mom. Go grab a copy for yourself and read the account in there and grab as much as you can, really nuggets in there. But the very final points I would like us to share is the lessons, which is the very last chapter. Lessons along the journey. And here we are rounding up, page 162, thereabout. With all this, and okay, let me just read this one. I've learned that life is short and slippery, so I must make every moment count. Why at this point?
Because it's essential. It's like the number one lesson. Look, every single moment counts. I got married at 49, right?
Yes, we haven't even shared that.
And I had my child, as in I adopted my baby at 42.
Yes.
42 years, what was I doing? Up to 42. Every moment counts. So make the most out of it. Do not let the opinions of people, the issues of life, put you down such that you're not able to progress, because there is so much lemonade you can make. So spend the time making lemonade out of the lemons that life has thrown at you. Do not waste the time.
That's right.
So I have decided that every moment counts. And because of that, I am not going to spend my times in negative situations. I'm not going to dwell in the negativity of life. If there's a negative situation, I'm going to, if I can make lemonade out of it, I do. Otherwise, if I need to check out of that situation, I move. Because time is precious. That's it. So make every moment count.
Amazing indeed. And then I have learned that no matter how nice a person is, there will always be haters.
Yep.
And that's sometimes very difficult to grasp. I mean, for believers, we think that everybody should be nice. It has to be, nobody should hate you. Nobody should think bad about you. But it's not so.
Vicky, and even as believers, your haters are believers. I'm sorry to say, but most of the people who have given me trouble, who have made me cry in my room, in the darkness of my room, are people who are called Christians. So don't think that as believers, everybody, nah. That's what I thought when I became a young Christian. I remember in school, in uni, I thought everybody within my church space should smile at me. Because I was this happy person smiling at everybody. I felt like you should just acknowledge me and smile because we're in the same family. Same blood. That's what I thought naively. It doesn't work that way. I learned it the hard way. Your haters will come from within. As Christians, yeah. Your cheerleaders are non-Christians.
Isn't that ironic?
I don't know if it's just me, but I'm sure I have witnesses out there.
Hi.
Yeah. And so when I remember years back, I heard about the love revolution, and I said, okay, so maybe this is it. This is what is going to revolutionize, the Christian community, that we will understand that the essence of Christianity is love. But it's not the case. So you will have the haters. It is so real, you will have it. So get used to it so that when it happens, when you see it playing out, you don't get disappointed, you don't get frustrated, you don't feel like giving up, because it is the reality.
I will let Rabi share her very last words in about a minute or so, but just backtracking a bit. So finally getting married at 49. How was it like for you?
When people ask me that question, I wish I could give them the kind of answer that excites everybody. But you see, in my case, remember I said that I had given up on marriage. Not just giving up for giving up's sake, but because after I adopted my son, he became the center of my life. The need to protect him was strong. Okay. I didn't want anybody to come mess him up. Getting married meant not married only to an individual, but to a whole family, a whole host of people.
Okay.
At my age, I was thinking, it means you're going to get married to somebody who already has a family. You're not doing a young person for many reasons. No way. At 49, going to marry someone who's never... You don't want that. So if you're marrying someone who's already got a family and all that, how are they going to accept yours? Knowing that yours is adopted and you have not made a secret out of it, because you want your child to feel very comfortable and know who he is. So I told myself that, no, I won't get married. So I didn't want to get married. It was this son who said that he wants a daddy. And he pushed it. Story is in the book. He pushed it and he got his daddy. So when I got married, it felt good. But you know what's interesting? I realized that everybody around me, especially my dad and some family members, were excited. They were so excited. I had to one day ask my dad that, Daddy, does it mean that before I got married, before this whole marriage thing, you did not see me as, what's the word, like, you didn't think I was accomplished enough. You didn't think, I didn't mean that much as a person to you.
As in worthy.
Yes. And then he said, no, it's not that. He says, there's a whole new difference that marriage brings into the picture. And that is why everybody is excited for you. But that was another eye-opener. To the fact that singles, men, they've got a lot to deal with. Because people started looking at me differently. People were excited. People are calling me Mrs. Suddenly my name is gone. Mrs. And I insist on using my name for a reason. I stand up for all the single women out there. I'm not changing my name. Before Mrs., I was somebody, was I not?
Yes, you
I respect my husband. He's a good man, and I thank God for his life. And he is a good man, good enough to understand that I do not have to use the name to validate him. He totally understands that. You understand? But people would want to refer to you as Mrs.
Instead of your actual name.
Exactly. And there are other people there who are still Miss. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. I have been there. I was there for 49 years.
I do.
So I so understand it that I am not going to be flaunting anything in anybody's face. Because it's not the definition of life.
This is your camera, Rabi. I just want you to speak to someone who is very much broken, as single, or in some kind of state right now watching us.
What can I say? All I will say to you, my dear, is that once you still have the breath of life in you, it means God has a purpose for you. He's not done with you yet. And there's nothing impossible with him. But you have to remember that our paths are different. We will not have the same experiences. My grandmom used to say to me that, look at your fingers, they're different. So we are all different. I know that you probably really, really, really want to get married. Somebody has said to me that not everybody will get married. I heard that. I tuned my mind. And I decided to make lemonade out of the lemons that I had. What are your lemons? What can you do? What if you don't get married? What if you are not going to get married? What are you going to do with yourself? Will that define you? Will that be the end of your life? What if you're not going to have biological children? What are you going to do? I am a mother. I have a child, but I do not have biological children. Now I'm even thankful that I didn't have to go through that process. But I do have a child that I am absolutely proud of. I made lemonade out of the lemons. What are you going to do? It's entirely up to you, but know that there's always something you can do. As that pastor said to me some time back, if you cannot fly, run. If you cannot run, walk. If you cannot walk, crawl. But by all means, do something with your life. Do not remain where you are. Because there's an account that you will give with that life that God has given to you, regardless of how it plays out. And if it's going to be, it is up to you. Of course, with the grace of God upon your life.
Wonderful indeed. Thank you so much. This is so encouraging. Remember, the number is on your screen, as well as the points where you can get copies. Make sure that it's only 80 Ghana cedis. This should have cost about 100 or 120. But she's kind enough. And what is in here is worth more than 80 Ghana cedis. So go grab yourself a copy. Get some for friends and family, and I know you will be blessed. Rabi, thank you so much for passing through.
Vicky,
we love you, we appreciate you, and thank you for being so courageous to do this.
Thank you. I thank God. All glory to God.
Amazing indeed. We know that the next book will come up, and we will have her right here on the Writer's Blog. Don't forget that, I beg your pardon, the reading challenge is on. Pictures on your screen. We have 3 wonderful children who are battling it out when it comes to our reading segment. And so please go ahead and vote for them on your screen now. I'm Vicky. We came to you live from La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. We are back same time next week, right here on this channel, with another exciting edition. The Writer's Blog. Read, write, indulge your mind.
Hi, I'm Vicky. I love books and enjoy reading. The first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is to read. If I go for a run, I listen to an audiobook. In my leisure moments, I read whilst enjoying some good music. Are you an avid reader, or you're not learning how to read? Maybe you used to enjoy reading, but somehow it has become a thing of the past. Come on this journey with my guests and I as we dive into various books and themes these books talk about. Every week, I speak to various authors who are behind life-transforming books, as well as promote various stakeholders within the publishing industry. The Kiddie Zone segment on the show is meant specifically to ignite reading interest in your child. Watch the Writer's Blog on this station this and every Saturday at 4:30 p.m. and on Sunny 88.7 FM every Saturday at 1 p.m. This program is powered by Reveal Multimedia and supported by The Writer's Blog. Read, write, Indulge your mind.
Thank you for watching the Writer's Blog on this channel. If you want to sponsor, partner, advertise, or have your book reviewed on the show, call or send a text or WhatsApp message to, or send an email to, follow us on social media. This program is powered by Reveal Multimedia. Join us next week for another exciting edition. The Writer's Blog. Read, write, indulge your mind.